Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Ultimate Comics Podcast. My name is Nabeel Gaber, and I'm one of your hosts.
I'm Josh Kang, the other host.
And this is a totally new format for the show. We're like mixing things up for this new episode and for this new direction going forward for the time being. In the past, we've talked about Ultimate Marvel, an imprint of Marvel that began in the year 2000 that was intended to modernize and reimagine Marvel and its characters for the 21st century. Recently, we've decided to focus on something a little more contemporary, stick our finger on the pulse and like see what's new and what's current. We can still like go back to Ultimate Marvel and talk about it, but I think we found ourselves itching just to get to more current stuff and talk about things that are more relevant today at this point. I mean, not that Ultimate Marvel isn't entirely relevant because a lot of stuff has still stuck with Marvel and its characters today, but it's exciting now to just talk about everything that is currently happening in the world of comics and beyond in other media like movies and TV and things like that related
Yeah,
to comic book properties.
yeah. And like we've also been like touching it on it a bit, like because we have done special episodes on stuff we watched last year and the year before. We did episodes on Superman. We did an episode on the Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, no, we've been doing that more and more in the past year or so. Just doing more reviews on comic book movies and TV series and things of that nature. Just wanting to share our thoughts and opinions on things happening right now in the world of comics. So, and we're not going to change the name because it's general enough where it could mean a lot of things. And also, that logo is just too good. I mean,
Yeah,
shout out to our friend Annika Falconer for designing it for us
you
about a year
know,
and a half ago. But yeah, too good to throw away.
we're not the Ultimate Marvel Comics podcast. We're the Ultimate Comics podcast. So we could do any comic we want.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't even have to do Marvel and DC. I know some of our fans who's appeared on the show has asked if we could do like Invincible one day. So why
Yeah,
not?
Image Comics, Dark Horse, Boom, you name it.
I want to do Vertigo. I mean, I know Vertigo is part of DC now, but I love the
Right.
cult and magic stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
So we wanted to broaden our horizons, bottom line. We wanted to make it more general and more about our love for comics in general and everything related to comics. So starting off like this new direction for the show in a very fun way, we just wanted to talk about all the different like comic book projects, movies, and TV this year coming up in 2026 that we're really excited about. So, Josh, what are some of the ones you're most excited about?
I am low-key excited for Wonder Man because I feel Wonder Man is not a very popular character outside of comic nerds. I think he's
Yep.
only appeared one time outside of comics, and that's in Earth's Mightiest Hero.
They did a really good job with the character in that show. I mean, they did a good job with like all the characters in
Yeah.
Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That's such a good show.
Yeah, I wish they make a new season for Earth's Mightiest Heroes
Yeah.
because did you know the next season was about them meeting the teenage X-Men for the first time?
Yeah, I saw some of the concept art behind that, and it's such a shame they were not able to continue with that series.
Yeah.
It's
My,
such a bummer.
I've been talking to some people about this, but like my problem with Marvel is that they can make a good show because they have done it a few times. Marvel just chooses not to at the moment. Maybe it's
Yeah.
the Disney influence. Every show Marvel has made recently, or animated show, has mostly been to promote their movies. Unfortunately,
It's been a lot of MCU synergy. I mean, just going off this tangent on Earth's Mightiest Heroes, for example, like the show ended after 2 seasons and was replaced with the Avengers Assemble cartoon, which was really just created to be more in line with the Avengers from the MCU because this was 2012 when the first Avengers movie came out. And I didn't really watch Avengers Assemble, maybe just because I was bitter at the cancellation of Earth's Mightiest Heroes. It seemed fine, but it was just like, okay, this is very blatant MCU synergy here.
I have seen a lot of Avengers Assemble. It gets better when they just give up on synergy and then they try again with synergy and it gets worse. I do not watch every episode of Avengers Assemble because I have a life, and when I was out, I was dating, so not anymore. So maybe I'll get back on Avengers Assemble. My problem with Avengers Assemble, it's worse than a bad show. It's a bad show that occasionally has a great episode, which is the worst because you're like,
Isn't that what you said about Ultimate Spider-Man as a cartoon series too?
yes, because that was also like in the same vibe as I think it was like the same animated style
Yeah.
ish. Because that one just means like, oh, so you could do better, you just choose not to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, Wonder Man is I'm surprised because it's coming so soon to Disney Plus.
yeah.
By the time we release this episode, it will have already come out, maybe like a day before or something, because it's releasing January 27th on Disney Plus. I haven't really seen a lot of marketing behind this show or a lot of hype or a lot of talk beforehand. And also, like, all the episodes are being dumped on the same day on Disney Plus rather than releasing one episode at a time, like week to week, which I find surprising. And when that happens, I'm always like, oh, so you guys just kind of gave up and called it a day. You didn't want to make like an event out of it. They were like, "Here you go. That's it. We don't want to talk about it again."
Well, I will also say that the dumps were the norm for Netflix and Disney Plus shows for a few years until they realized you could just make money making releasing an episode every week.
Yeah, I'm like, so you guys don't think people are going to want to watch it week to week, apparently? Because I would. And I'm not even a fan of Wonder Man as a character. Wonder Man, for those of you who are not familiar, Simon Williams, his whole thing is like he has ionic energy powers, and his thing is like he's a Hollywood actor, he's a movie star, and he's also an Avenger. And this series seems to be very much playing up the whole Hollywood angle, and he does have powers. But what's the face you're making, Josh?
I know, like it's comics, but I hate whenever Hollywood makes a movie about actors and Hollywood writers.
I mean, this seems
It's
really fun though, because this is about like superhero fatigue too. Like, I saw the trailer and like, I'm not even a Wonder Man fan. Like, I don't really dig the character that much just because when I read him in the Avengers comics, I'm always like, oh, get over yourself, buddy. Because he's also like a pacifist and everything. And I'm like, good for you, dude, but you're also an Avenger. Sometimes you got to hit things. Sorry. But like, yeah, this, I saw the trailer though, and the trailer was really well done because I think like, it seems fun and different from the usual MCU fare. It seems like it's a fun comedy about because Simon's teaming up with Trevor, which is a really good callback from the MCU, the actor who played the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. Very controversial move, by the way, on that movie's part that got a lot of backlash. But he also returned in Shang-Chi. It was a lot of fun there.
I love how Ben Kingsley plays like a worse version of himself because Ben Kingsley is like he's an Oscar-winning actor. They just
Yeah.
put in Iron Man 3 as a joke.
Yeah, I think he's really funny as Trevor Slattery. I love Ben Kingsley in that role as like the fake Mandarin. I wasn't even mad when it happened in Iron Man 3 and I saw it in theaters. I was like, that's a hilarious twist. And they
I
gave us the Mandarin in Shang-Chi anyways,
yeah,
so whatever.
I still love the joke that like he's such a good actor that like he just burst into a Shakespearean sonnet or a Shakespearean performance before his death, and the actual Mandarin just keeps him alive for like weekly performances.
Yeah. He's just there for like entertainment.
He's the jester.
Yeah, exactly. And I
Uh,
think it's so funny seeing like the focus on how like Simon Williams and like Trevor Slattery, their whole thing is like they're two actors just trying to get work, and they get cast in this remake of an old superhero movie called Wonder Man, and this like artsy fartsy director is the one to take it on. Like, it seems fun and it's a very intriguing premise, and I'm like interested to see like what it all looks like and how they like comment on, I don't know, superhero media and superhero movies in general, especially within the MCU, and also what the exploration of Simon's powers as Wonder Man, like bubbling beneath the surface. I'm interested to see what comes of that.
I am excited. That being said, I never like movies from Hollywood about Hollywood. I never like movies about writers. It's not this show's fault. It's because the character was like this before. I just don't like it when like Hollywood winks itself off in like a. I find it incredibly self-masturbatory. I look. I admit sometimes the movie is good. It will never be an A to me. It'll be a B plus at most because I automatically knock 15 points off if you're a movie about movies.
50 points? Wait,
15,
like
one
what?
five.
15. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it'd be like an 85% out of
Uh,
100.
if it's a perfect movie, it'll only be an 85% in my.
So just a B.
It'll be a B. Yeah, it'll be a B, not even a B plus. You're right.
Yeah, not even a B plus, just a
Yeah,
solid B.
yeah. I don't like. I find Hollywood to be. It's really ironic because I actually grew up and I live, and right now I'm recording this in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But
So that has like turned you off to like the whole film industry.
I never liked the film industry. I never saw this meritocratic place. I always grew up just saying, "Oh, like this is where like rich kids go to play pretend for a few months." And you either succeed because you're rich, or you become a hot waiter at a restaurant, or you become a, or you. That's no. That's what everyone said growing up. You either like are really good and you succeed, but you have to be like super good or super connected, or you become a super attractive waiter, English teacher, or some profession like doctor, because you realize you can't make it as an actor. Because to be fair, most 99% don't. So you go to medical school, accounting school, business school, law school in like
Yeah.
USC. Because
No, that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
You either
it's
die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
you either succeed as an actor or you live long enough to do an actual actor's taxes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to our accountant from LA who listens.
Yes. And thank you again for listening, Cameron. We love you. Please come back on the shows anytime.
I am not insulting you in any way. I'm just pointing out many people come to LA, don't make it as actors. No shame in that. That's most people. That's 99%. And you end up working for an actor.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, in a lot of cases, I'm sure you'd be better off not being a big actor,
Yeah.
but I don't want to see the dark underbelly of Hollywood.
I know a bit about the dark. Before all the Me Too stuff, because I lived here and I knew like people worked in the more working class parts of Hollywood, I knew some of the dark underbelly before it happened. And I was like, you guys didn't know that this was a creep or this is
Yeah.
problematic? I thought everyone knew it was bad.
Yeah, like I wasn't that common knowledge?
Yeah.
Didn't we already know that this person sucked?
When Epstein stuff came out, my friends were like, wait till like the Hollywood version comes out. And a few years later, the rest of the world learned about the Diddy parties.
Damn.
Yeah.
But you knew.
I did not know about the Diddy parties. I knew about the Justin Bieber parties.
Damn.
I
This
know.
man's got the inside scoop.
Yeah. If Justin Bieber listens, I hope your life got better, man. Like, we all make
If
mistakes when we're
Justin
younger.
Bieber listens, I'm like, hey, can you help promote us a little more? Get us a following? I don't know.
We might get hate because of it.
I mean, I'll take it. No publicity is bad publicity. I'll
And
take any hate mail that you send my way as long as you're listening.
yeah, I actually remember when we all hung out in New York City. Um, you guys didn't believe that so many celebrities went to my high school, and I brought up a Wikipedia page, and I was like, "Here are each celebrity that went to my high school, and here's the bad story
Yeah.
about them." Unless you're Naya
Yeah.
Rivera, in which case you just didn't have one. So now people know where I went to high schools.
Yeah. You got the inside scoop. You are our inside man, Joshua J. Kang.
Yeah, except none of the celebrities know me. So
Exactly. That's the beauty of it. We also have Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow coming out in June, which I am super hyped for. I think
yeah,
we've been teased about this since the ending of the Superman movie that came out this past year, which we loved. And if you haven't listened, please go back and listen to our Superman review. But
uh,
yeah, I've been very excited for this for a while. Just as someone who's read Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King and Bilquis Evely, I hope I'm saying that name right. It's such a beautiful comic. It's like one of my favorite comics of all time. And I only read it like a year and a half ago or so, and it's so good. So I'm so glad that James Gunn is like, yeah, we should adapt this when we do our Supergirl movie.
I,
It looks so fun, and it looks very true to the comic, if not in spirit, also like in a lot of visual ways. Like I can see panels from that comic in the trailer.
I need to read that comic, but also like we love a good classic space adventure.
Yes.
Yes, Jason Momoa, who I've ranted about. I don't think on this pod, strangely enough.
Yeah, I think you have when you were ranting about fish people.
Yeah, he plays Lobo. I will also point out he was cast as Lobo the first day that James Gunn, the first day of the DCEU being a thing. He was already cast as Lobo.
Yeah, because he texted James Gunn after he heard the announcement and was like, Lobo, baby.
I find that like, look, Jason Momoa, you're a very talented actor. Everyone goes to bed. Every man goes to bed afraid that their girl is actually thinking of Jason Momoa. So, which a
That's
lot of
true.
I think it's crazy that a lot of women have made jokes about going to Aquaman for the plot, if you know what I mean.
I mean, hey, like, listen, after decades of like female eye candy in Hollywood that's mainly meant for like the male gaze, I think let's give a little back, okay?
Uh,
Let's get some beefcakes on screen for women to ogle at, all right? Fair is fair.
yeah. Also, is he Micronesian? You know, the country you know so much about.
Listen, all right? I've learned things since being on this podcast. I now realize that Micronesia is a real place. It sounded very comic booky at the time, all right? It sounds like, the microverse or something. I'm sorry to everyone who is from or has any ties to Micronesia. I didn't know.
All 30,000 of you.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think it's a Polynesian country, and they're all like loosely connected. Like, it is interesting to go like, oh, Jason Momoa, he was in the last DC universe, and he's just coming back, and we're just gonna go. In the back of my minds, we're just gonna go. That's Aquaman. His movies were like okay, but they
Yeah.
redid it, and he's still not. But he's no longer Aquaman, even though he was perfect as Aquaman.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Jason Momoa was great as Aquaman for sure. I saw the first Aquaman movie and I was like, it was a fun time. I didn't watch it again because I didn't feel like I really needed to. It wasn't like the best superhero movie of all time. The second one was abysmal, and that was also the last movie in like the Snyderverse, I'm pretty
Oof.
sure. So that's really how they ended it. And I was like, okay, cool. But I mean, Jason Momoa would also hardly be the first person to play two separate comic book roles.
Name one other guy.
I can name so many. Ryan Reynolds played Green Lantern and
That's different.
Deadpool.
That's different.
Josh Brolin is Cable and Thanos.
Okay, I'll
Chris
give you that
Evans
one.
is the Human Torch and Captain
That's
America.
different. There's a decade between the two characters.
It's not really that long, actually. Rise of
Really?
the Silver Surfer was in 2007. That
What?
was like the last time he was Johnny Storm. And then Captain America, the First Avenger, came out 4 years later in
Uh,
2011.
fine.
I
Fine.
was so skeptical too. I remember when it was announced the casting for Captain America and Chris Evans was going to be. I was like, I guess, I don't know. I don't really see it. Like, it's kind of weird because, like, I know him as the Human Torch. This doesn't. And now, like, he's iconic in that role. And so many people are like, he's irreplaceable. He and Robert Downey Jr. are, like, up there as, like,
Yeah.
Christopher Reeve Superman level castings.
Robert Downey Jr. I think is an underrated actor because everyone forgets he's an Oscar nominee and an Oscar winner for roles
Yes.
people don't remember. Well, I think they remember Tropic Thunder for the wrong reasons ish, but
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, Jason Momoa is coming back to DC as Lobo, and I think he looks great. I'm so
yeah.
excited. I love Lobo as a character. And I think when Jason Momoa was Aquaman, there were still people talking, amongst themselves in the fan community, and they were like, I really would have preferred him as Lobo, but this is fun too, I guess.
I am surprised Jason Momoa knew who Lobo was. I'm like, I think he's a comic reader.
Well, it's always like, fan castings happen, and
Uh,
then, of course, the actor will probably like start reading up on the character, or their
uh,
agent will give it to them or something, or someone in Hollywood or a screenwriter, and they'll take a look at the character and like talk to people about it or whatever, and they'll be like, wow, I fell in love with this character.
I mean, sometimes I just sometimes want an actor who's an OG comic fan, like Vin Diesel, who's such a comic nerd. He wrote a book about, well, not a comic nerd, but he's such a nerd. He wrote a book about Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, like they can't all be like Nicolas Cage or someone who like is a
I
hardcore
think
like
Nick,
comic book collector.
I think Nick Cage is like the other end of a comic nerd, like the one you don't want to be, where you're like, oh, you had like a couple hundred millions and you lost all of it.
Yeah.
Who's your accountant?
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, like,
My
I think he's also
gosh.
been like divorced 10 times. He also bought a dinosaur in like a castle in New Orleans, which also would probably make things bad. But
Yeah, it sounds like he hasn't made the best financial choices in life.
yeah,
Still love him as
yeah.
an actor.
Supergirl. I think if you're just into space movies, people kind of forget Superman is like a sci-fi space show, and this is just going
Yeah.
into it. Love the trench coat and the goggles.
Yeah, I'm really digging the look that they're giving her, which is straight out of, like, once again, Woman of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think this could really define how a lot of people in just general audiences see Supergirl based on this movie. Because I feel like before there was like, of course, there's like Melissa Benoist as Supergirl on the CW show, and I thought she was perfect in that role.
Oh
I
yeah,
really thought she did a great job. Like all the CW DC shows, it wasn't perfect. It was very flawed, but I thought the casting was on point, and she did a fantastic performance. But I feel like with this one, they're leaning more into like the messier, like more deeply traumatized version of Supergirl that is straight out of Woman of Tomorrow. And I'm not one who's read too many Supergirl comics other than obviously Woman of Tomorrow, so I know it's like very specific to that version.
yeah,
But it feels like now when general audiences see this movie, that's going to be how they think of Supergirl now. For better or worse, like I feel like this could be like defining for like a generation of like fans at this point to be like, oh my gosh, we love Supergirl because just the same way that like this latest Superman movie defines Superman for now a new generation.
yeah. You want to move on to the next one that I think both of us are excited for?
Oh yeah, in July we have Spider-Man Brand New Day, the fourth Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
I honestly didn't know this was going to be made because Tom Holland kind of hinted he wanted to step away from Spider-Man for a bit, but
Yeah, it's happening. They must have given him more money.
or Zendaya wants more money, and he was like, I gotta, gotta listen to the missus who's taller than you.
Yeah. It's the height really takes precedence over anything else.
Yeah. So you and I were talking about this, but Sadie Sink is in it, and I had no idea who that was, but I knew she was a famous actress, and I'm like, she's like Sydney Sweeney. She's this blonde actress who's famous for being in Hollywood, and I've never watched any of the stuff she's been in.
Well, I mean, she's more of a redhead.
Well, see, that's what I see how little I know about her.
Yeah.
I have no idea who she plays.
She plays Max in Stranger Things. Got one of, if not the most like iconic episodes of Stranger Things in season 4 is devoted to her character. It's the reason why Running Up That Hill got like a resurgence in popularity, the Kate Bush song, if you've heard that one.
If I've heard it, I don't know the title, so unless you're saying it, I won't know.
Well, either way, there's a lot of hype and speculation and stuff going around about this movie. I'm just excited that Spider-Man Brand New Day is we're finally getting like a classic like Spider-Man adventure, street level, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, no connection to Iron Man or most of the rest of the Avengers because there aren't that many left anyways, but like it seems very much to be now this is the Spider-Man that we all know and love, especially after the ending of No Way Home, which very sad that like everyone forgot who Peter Parker was and now he's just alone and his Aunt May is dead. But at the same time, he's got a homemade Spider-Man suit that looks dope as hell. Like that looks awesome. I've been waiting to see that suit in action forever. I'm so excited.
All the other suits were fine, man. They all were mostly comic accurate. What's your
I
problem?
mean, I have nostalgia obviously for the Tobey Maguire Sam Raimi Spider-Man suit. I
Is
think
it
that's
because
great.
you want the webbing on the armpits, the armpit webbing?
I mean, we got that in the previous like MCU Tom Holland Spider-Man suits too.
No, he didn't.
In the Homecoming suit, yeah. He had
Wait,
armpit webbing.
he did?
He used it to like glide.
That doesn't count.
I think that counts.
That does not count. That's like
They've had so
ah.
many good Spider-Man suits, all right. Tom Holland's had plenty of them. I thought The Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield, that was a perfect suit too.
All the costumes are good so far, in my opinion.
I know, this is just my favorite so far, is all I'm saying. The colors are like done so well. The suit looks gorgeous, ripped straight out of the comic, and there's so many big names and like characters in this movie. Apparently, John Bernthal's going to be in it as the Punisher. Mark Ruffalo's returning as the Hulk. You have like cool like street level like Spider-Man villains like Tombstone and Scorpion.
Who we've met?
It,
We've met Scorpion in the first
yes,
Spider-Man.
yeah, we met Scorpion in Homecoming, so now that's finally coming together. And Sadie Sink is rumored to be playing so many different characters because she's a redhead. A lot of people think she's going to be like Rachel or like
It's
Jean Grey.
it's also very possible she wears a wig or she dyes her hair to be like
Yeah,
Gwen.
she's even said
Or,
that in interviews like, oh yeah, you're all assuming it's going to be my regular hair color.
like it might be, but like you could do Gwen as a redhead realistically, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Like you don't need I mean not that it's Gwen or any necessarily, but Like the hair color, other than like maybe MJ is actually even they didn't even do MJ as a redhead, so you know
It could be anyone at this point, really. So I guess we'll just see. Some
if sh
people are like, "Oh, she's gonna be the actual Mary Jane because she's a redhead," and I'm like, "All right, then what would be the point of having MJ in the previous trilogy? Like, what?"
if she plays MJ, I'm like, oh Peter, you have a type. You must be
Yeah,
puffing that 24/7, or
yeah.
she looks like your aunt, so you have something else going on there.
Yeesh.
That I mean, I was also gonna say like I really hope we see Zendaya as MJ again, and she's with. I know we keep saying well, she's with like Pete Davis and Paul,
Yeah.
or Timothy Chalamet Paul, because that would just be amazing.
Well, I know Zendaya is confirmed to be in it in some capacity as MJ. Also, Ned Leeds is going to be in the movie too. It was recently confirmed.
I do hope they don't remember, unless he dies. I do hope they don't remember Peter because I'm like, the whole thing was he made a sacrifice and he made the choice to stay away for a good reason. And don't hope, and I hope he doesn't force them to remember, unless he dies and they remember at the end, which is a
Yeah,
possibility. But
yeah, I hope they don't just undo everything that happened in No Way Home because I feel like there should be lasting consequences. But I'm interested to see how they handle their return for sure.
I also would like Punisher to be like Kingpin in Hawkeye, where like in Daredevil and Punisher, he's such this hardcore villain. He's very serious, but like once he steps like one street into like outside his gangster area, where it gets a little bit goofier, it's kind of like a more goofy character ish.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Punisher's big thing is that like when he fights people with powers, he generally gets his ass kicked really hard.
Yeah. I feel like they would probably have to tone down the Punisher for this Spider-Man movie because it doesn't really have like the R rating that the Netflix Daredevil and Punisher shows had.
Yeah. Also, Punisher's good at fighting. Like he's like a master daredevil in like the yakuza or the gangs. If Spider-Man kicks in the balls, which he's been hit in the balls by people with super strength in the comics before, he's not gonna be like super violent, you know? Like,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. P.S. Anyone who reads comics where Punisher gets in Runaways, he gets punched in the balls and he spends a few pages wheezing. So
Yeah,
look,
that's a really funny moment.
you're a big shot against Fisk. You're not gonna do well against anyone else. Is the
Yeah,
thing, you know?
you can't handle superpowered little girls.
And he can't handle Tom Holland.
Yeah, I feel like Tom Holland's Spider-Man would spin webs in circles around the Punisher,
And
if
I
I'm
hope
being real.
Punisher is like, because I feel some people go like, yeah, Punisher's a badass. All gotta like have Punisher patches on our uniforms, and I'm like, no, have Spider-Man like kick him in the balls really hard just to
Yeah.
show these guys what's up.
Yeah, he could use some humility every now and then, you know?
Yeah,
It would be fun too. I'm just looking forward to potentially just seeing Spider-Man and the Punisher teaming up against guys like Tombstone and other like New York gangs. If we really go for like the actual street level Spider-Man stories that we get in the comics, just make him more grounded, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man going up against these kinds of threats.
yeah,
And I'm just still dying to see him team up with Daredevil. I'm dying to see him take on the Kingpin. It's just like I'm itching for this to happen. There were so
yeah.
many hints even in like Daredevil Born Again where like Kingpin talks about vigilantes that spin webs. Some people even like pointed out like heard the Spider-Man theme near the end of like Daredevil Born Again in the finale and I'm like don't tease me like that.
Do you want to move on to our next project, the next comic project that I
Oh
think we know
yeah.
nothing about?
Oh yeah, you mean Clayface?
Yeah, I remember when Clayface was announced. I just was like, really? Like Clayface of all
Yeah,
things?
it's crazy. There is a Clayface project. It is set for December of this year, 2026, and we virtually have like no details about it other than like obviously who it's about, which is Clayface, who is like a B movie actor who gets powers that allow him to shapeshift and morph because his body is now like made out of clay. And I'm curious to see what this movie could look like or what it's really going to be about, other than obviously Clayface. But like,
I've heard James Gunn says he wants to make it a genuine horror movie.
yeah, so a horror, like character focused story about Clayface, maybe how he became Clayface, what he does with his powers afterwards, maybe like a horror revenge story on the people who made him this way.
My problem with I'm not saying it can't work because you and I have not seen this movie, even though people keep recommending it to us. Is Venom, but generally, if you make a villain movie, but it doesn't go well because so many of these villains revolve around a very specific superhero.
Yeah, unless they try to make him some kind of anti-hero, the hero of his own story.
Like even Harley Quinn, who is like now a very, very big thing, it doesn't make sense to do a Harley Quinn without Batman having been in her backstory at some point too, you
Yeah.
know?
No, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Though I'll say Harley Quinn media has been like on fire the last few years.
Yeah, I mean her popularity has like gone through the roof, especially with the animated series that they've released. And
Margot Robbie too.
yes, Margot Robbie in the DC cinematic universe before that. And I think, I don't know, just the Harley Quinn in general now has blown up like in the comics and beyond, especially her relationship with Poison Ivy, especially her whole like redemption arc and her like getting out of her abusive relationship with the Joker, which good
Mm,
for her, honestly. She should.
yeah.
It's cool to see her stand alone as her own character, but yeah, she's blown up in popularity. I think
I,
it started with her like joining the Suicide Squad too
yeah. I
in the
think
new 52.
I also think part of it was also the Hot Topic picked up a lot of Harley Quinn merch when the Suicide Squad movie came out.
Yeah,
It's
that's
really
true.
that movie has had such a big cultural impact for not being a good movie and everyone acknowledging it's not a good movie, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I also will say like Harley Quinn DC has said this is the fourth pillar of their universe now. DC has just execs have admitted it now, Harley Quinn.
So it's like Superman, Batman, Wonder
Wonder Woman,
Woman,
Harley
Harley
Quinn.
Quinn. That's crazy.
They've said it. I think some vice president of DC said, "Yeah,
That's insane. I don't believe that.
that she's the fourth pillar." That someone at DC said it.
I just don't believe that she's the fourth pillar. That's crazy.
Who is the fourth pillar then? If there must be a fourth pillar,
I don't know. The Flash, Green Lantern, pick one. I don't know.
they have less merch.
Than Harley Quinn. It's
You
all about the
know,
merch, isn't it?
people know who Harley Quinn is. You could go to some like random ass country in somewhere else, and they might know Batman and Harley Quinn. Just saying.
Not to disrespect Harley Quinn, but I would probably put the Joker on that list before her.
Whoa.
He's easily recognizable.
There is a Joker. There are two Joker movies,
Exactly.
but one of them has Harley Quinn,
That's true, yeah.
and Lady Gaga is Harley Quinn in one of them.
It's just Gaga. It's not Gaga.
Gaga was on my Spotify list, so I think I know how her name is pronounced.
Oh my gosh. What a diva.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, the Clayface also previously made an appearance in Creature Commandos, which is also
Yeah.
set in James Gunn's DC cinematic universe. So it could possibly touch on his backstory in this movie now, explain how he got to that point, nearly killing Rick Flag Sr.
Yeah. And they say like they know who Clayface is in that movie, so I think that implies that he's been caught by Batman at one point. So
Yeah, so I'm interested to see them like dive deeper into this villain.
yeah.
And I think we were talking about this before, Josh, too, about how like they are going for generally like more random and somewhat more obscure picks for James Gunn's DC universe,
Yeah.
which I really like. I know like a lot of other people have really responded positively to that because we don't want to see like the same three or four characters over and over again.
I think it's a big risk that like though, like I get to a certain point it's DC's fault for the fact they did mess up Justice League and so many
Yeah.
other main stuff. But I'm like, Clayface gets a movie? Not
Yeah.
Flash? Well, I was gonna say Atlantis, but I remember Atlantis are getting something, so
Yeah. But I mean, James Gunn also excels at like taking smaller, more obscure characters generally and like developing like something really interesting out of that, like Guardians of the Galaxy or Suicide Squad, which then turned into the Peacemaker series after that, and then like
yeah.
Creature Commandos too. They're going to be doing like The Authority too.
I wish they do magic finally. I know we got the Constantine movie in the 2000s. I want a Constantine stuff. I want Zatanna. I want trench coats, dark magic, and sexy goth witches.
Hell yeah. Tell him,
Yes.
Josh.
Yeah. Wearing top hats.
Yeah, with fishnets.
With I never liked the fishnets, to be honest.
Okay, well, I guess
That's
someone's not a
too.
Black Canary fan.
Yeah, I like Black Canary. I just never am a fan of the stockings or the fishnets because they keep making. Even in kid shows, they make jokes about it. Like it's so weird. It's way too horn doggy. Wear a leather jacket, and also Swamp Thing. I like Swamp Thing.
Who doesn't love Swamp Thing? Especially Alan Moore's run.
Oh, Alan Moore, great. I love Alan Moore. He's a bit of a dick, but I love Alan Moore. You know, Alan Moore once tried to end the world.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
Well, the last like big movie that we're gonna be talking about for the end of the year is can't have a conversation without talking about this. Avengers Doomsday coming out in December.
This is the one I'm most worried about, to be honest. I'm excited and worried at the same time because I'll be honest, I think there's a 50% chance this is a complete shit show.
Yeah, this could flop, or this could be the thing that salvages the MCU. I could go either way. I'm not sure how I feel about this. There's like a lot going on based off of the teaser trailers we've been getting over the past several weeks, and it just feels weird because it feels like we haven't really built up to it too much. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't believe like I can't even tell what phase we're on of the MCU anymore because it's just been so
Same.
hazy and like just disjointed and like disorganized. Like I think we are on phase 6 now, and I couldn't tell you what the different markers are between the different phases. But like phase 4 through 6, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, man. Like there's no overarching storyline here.
My hot take is Marvel at a certain point should have done what DC and Star Wars did, which is just do solo projects. Just let indie fans go wild with $1 billion and see what happens. You might get a solo. Good movie. The governor of Illinois recommends you watch it, but it didn't make money.
Yeah.
It's an
I
indie art
mean,
movie with $1 billion. Have fun.
yeah, like I just think as much as I am a diehard fan and I'll always like watch whatever Marvel puts out, a lot of the
Not
stuff
Venom.
isn't yeah, I mean that's Sony still, but I feel like a lot of the stuff, you're always getting people saying like, "Oh, it hasn't been the same since Endgame," or "Oh, Marvel's gone downhill." And I know what they're talking about, but like even then, I feel like a good chunk of the content they've been putting out is still good. I just think a lot of it just feels like it's pointless in a way because before it felt like they were all connected and they were building to something or it all like mattered. This is like they've introduced a billion characters, they've done this many series that like people don't have the time or energy to keep up with. They do this many movies a year, and so much of it is not followed up on. Like, we're doing Avengers Doomsday, and this is the first time at this point, it will have been 5 years since we saw Shang-Chi on screen, introduced in like September 2021, which is insane. Like, that's wild.
That was like the first movie I went on. I went on a date with someone with. So
Nice.
yeah, that's like that it's like an X and like another city ago. That was a million years of my
It
mind.
was forever ago, and now we're just seeing Shang-Chi again.
Yeah. You know, it's always a risk with this because you never know if like the actor gets a little flabby because they're normal people.
I mean, they still have like personal trainers and chefs and everything, and like people to get them in shape for the movie.
Unless you're Emma Corrin, we did not get that.
Yeah, because she's playing Cassandra Nova. Like, you don't need to be in shape for that.
But they wanted that.
Too bad. If you're just using your psychic powers on people and sticking your fingers in people's heads, you don't need to be buff.
What if you want a personal treat to get? I was gonna say to get healthy, but there's no way that's healthy from what I've read.
Yeah.
What was it like? Benedict Cumberbatch was eating like 10,000 calories a day.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, I want to be excited for Avengers Doomsday, especially because I think recent films have gotten me a little more interested and excited in like the overarching narrative of
The
the MCU.
Thunderbolts,
Yeah, Thunderbolts, listen to our Thunderbolts review. Thunderbolts was great, as we said in our review. We love
under
Thunderbolts.
underrated because apparently a lot of people did not like it.
Well, I think a lot of people loved it. I think the problem is not a lot of people went to see it like in the theater, so it didn't make as much money in the box office as a lot of other Marvel projects.
It's the Harley Quinn movie problem to bring it back to Harley Quinn. Great movie. I had a professor who teaches gender studies go like, it's a great feminist movie.
Yeah.
No one watched it because it happened during COVID.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
So Thunderbolts had a similar problem. I think also like probably a lot of people have lost interest in the MCU by the time that came out, like in May of last year.
Yeah.
So not as many people went to see it in the theaters, but I thought Thunderbolts was such a good movie. I thought for the first time since Endgame probably I was like interested in like where the direction of the MCU, and we got something that like actually addresses a lot of where the story is going and how that universe is moving forward after Endgame in the absence of the original Avengers and the heroes that they need in that world. And then afterwards too, then you get Fantastic Four, which gives us this very bright, hopeful, like optimistic world and this really, dare I say, fantastic take on the Fantastic Four.
I also feel the way they did Fantastic Four could be the way the MCU goes forward, where you just do your own self-contained stories. The thing with Fantastic Four, it's just a great movie on its own. You don't need to watch the other Marvel movies. Which was always the problem with the MCU, was that you needed to watch at a certain point a billion other
Mhm.
movies to understand it. And the Fantastic Four was also just a great like sci-fi story, which I always love.
Yeah, it was
And
great,
this,
and that gets me excited to bring these characters into the MCU and see them interact with other characters. Like, I love seeing the Thing interacting with like M'Baku and Wakanda, right? Like
yeah.
seeing that exchange happen, I'm like, oh, this is what gets me excited for the movie. Some of the teasers got me more excited than others too. Like the one with Thor got me excited because I'm like, oh, finally, Chris Hemsworth's Thor is like serious again. Like this seems like high stakes. I'm excited to see where this goes for this
I
character.
thought you retired from Thor.
No, I mean he did like Love and Thunder, but he never really retired.
Oh, he said he had medical issues after Love and Thunder.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna retire after like Doomsday or Secret Wars or whatever.
I'm excited, even if it doesn't end up good, for Doctor Doom, because Doctor Doom always looks good.
Yeah, as I've said before, I'm still skeptical about Robert Downey Jr.'s casting. I mean, so much of this movie seems to reek of desperation. They're bringing back Steve Rogers, and I'm like, didn't you finish his story? Also, this takes away from like Sam Wilson's whole story of like,
Yeah.
I'm becoming the new Captain America and I'm claiming the shield for myself and
It's,
starting a new path.
especially because they made a new Captain America starring Sam Wilson.
Yeah, and that was so aggressively meh that it was like, oh, this sucks as like a first outing. I felt bad for Anthony Mackie. Is like, this is your first outing as Captain America, and
It
your
was a
film,
fun
like,
movie.
it was not great. It could
You
have been
saw
so
it?
much better. Yeah, I saw it.
It was very Top Gun. It had the best fight scenes I've ever seen. The flying around, the
That,
Danger Zone song going around.
are you sure you weren't just watching Top Gun?
Okay, when I was watching like the scene with the aircraft carriers and the jets, I in my head I was just hearing "Highway to the."
Okay. I really thought that you were just in the theater watching the wrong movie.
Hey, why? Where's Captain America? Why are all the people shirtless?
Yeah, like what? Like what's Tom Cruise doing here?
He was almost Iron Man, so why not?
I mean, I don't know. I just think like bringing back Robert Downey Jr., bringing back the Russo brothers to direct, bringing back Chris Evans, it all just seems very desperate. Also, like bringing back like so many cast members of the old X-Men movies from the 2000s. I'm
That one's
like,
a bit more I'm okay with, aren't you?
yeah, I mean,
You were excited. You sent me that news when the X-Men were announced to be in the movie.
I saw the X-Men teaser, and the one thing I'm really excited about is Cyclops hopefully gets a chance to shine for a change in the movies.
Being a great strategist,
Yeah, I mean, and also, yeah, just showing why he's the leader of the X-Men. But I mean, in that sense, the X-Men makes sense because I'm like, all right, if this is about what I think it is, which is about like incursions and like the
in Battleworld,
multiverse, yeah, and like universes like colliding and everything, then I'm like, yeah, I guess it could be fun to bring the X-Men in from their universe in that case. So that's fun. But like bringing back Robert Downey Jr., bringing back Chris Evans and the
which
Russo brothers, I'm like, okay, you guys are really backpedaling and trying to like appease people who are like, it hasn't been the same since Endgame.
would you have been more okay if it was Mads Mikkelsen as Doctor Doom?
Yeah, honestly, I don't
Even
know. I
he's
feel like
technically he was in Doctor Strange, and but like, why is it but you're still okay with him coming back as Doctor? Apparently, he auditioned for it.
I would be more okay if it was like someone who was not so glaringly obvious as like, hey, I played Iron Man. I'm sure there's gonna be a reason for it, but I don't know if I'm gonna be happy with the reason why.
It's a variant of Tony Stark,
Yeah, if this just
probably.
turns out to be a variant of Tony Stark, I'm like, for fuck's sake, give me a break. If this is gonna be Doctor Doom, it's gotta be Victor Von Doom. Like that's the way to do it.
A Wizard King.
Yeah. If you don't give us the Wizard King, Victor Von Doom, I'm not gonna be happy. If you just make this about Tony Stark again for the bajillionth time, I'm not gonna be happy.
Especially because I feel so much of the, like we said earlier with Chris Evans as Captain America. His story was done.
Yeah,
I will
his
say
story was over.
the big thing with Nick Fury and the Ultimate Comics are great is that like he kind of creates a lot of those messes. It would be interesting for Tony Stark to finally acknowledge, hey, I do create a lot of the messes in the MCU. It's all my fault, half of it.
Yeah.
So maybe this is his comeuppance. I don't know. But even then, he dies. He sacrifices himself. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm skeptical. I'll remain like open-minded about it, and I'm obviously gonna go see it, but I don't
Oh,
know.
me
I
too.
feel, yeah, I'm not so sure. We'll see what happens. I hope it's good. I really do. But like I'm not getting my hopes too high.
When it was announced it was Doctor Doom, you and all my friends were so excited. And then 24 hours in, and they were like, it was like that scene in the Blizzard Cup when someone said like when they announced like Warcraft Mobile, and someone said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" to the to the
Yeah.
developer. Everyone was excited for 24 hours, and then we're like, wait a minute, this sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you know what I really am excited for this year is the second season of Daredevil Born Again,
yeah.
which did you see the first season, Josh?
I did not. I just saw the clips of Mayor Fisk, and I said, "What a guy! I'd vote for him."
Yeah. Josh continues to be a Wilson Fisk supporter, apparently.
I don't like his criminal stuff, but let's be fair. He gets stuff done as mayor. He fixes that pothole.
Man, if you saw the ending of Daredevil Born Again season 1, you would have totally different ideas.
What does he do that's so wrong?
All
Spoiler
right,
for the
spoilers for Daredevil Born Again season 1. To be fair, it came out almost a year ago.
yeah.
He literally crushes a guy's head in his bare hands. They
You
do
know,
that on screen.
the
Pops him like a grape.
mayor of Albany had someone assassinated once. He won 20 more terms.
That doesn't make it right.
Sometimes when you are mayor, you got to do the dirty stuff.
He literally like rounds up vigilantes and like puts them in cages
Look, vigilantes are bad. Do we want random people just beating the crap out of people on the streets? Zoran, if you're listening to this advice is free for 1 month.
for one. Then what?
If he wants more ideas, we charge.
Oh, okay. How much?
Depends on the idea.
Okay, okay,
You
that's
ever
fair.
worked at a think tank?
No, but have a feeling I'm about to. We're gonna be
Yeah.
like the think tank that Mamdani hires for New York.
He already probably hired a different think tank.
A
But
better one, I'm
yeah.
sure.
Boo.
I'm excited though for Daredevil Born Again because I feel like the first season, a lot of it was very messy because obviously there's a whole thing about how they had different showrunners for the first half of filming. Then they like had to scrap that because when they were first doing it, it was supposed to be like more lighthearted and more in line with the general tone of the MCU, and it
It's
just didn't work.
especially because he was in Spider-Man very, very briefly.
Yeah, exactly. The whole thing wasn't working, so they like got new showrunners and new writers and everything, but they'd already shot like a good chunk of it, so they had to do tons of like reshoots and rewrites and like fit everything together into this Frankenstein's monster of like now we have our first season, which is like the last two episodes of that season were fully done by the new showrunners. But like you watch like the all the other episodes before that, and a good chunk of them were like it's like a mix between like new stuff and old stuff from like the previous showrunners. It's messy,
Supergirl
and
was still
so
good though.
it was like I still enjoyed it for what it was, but it could have been a lot better. It was messy, but like I enjoyed it just knowing, all right, this isn't the same as the Netflix Daredevil show. It was very much its own thing, and I enjoyed it for that, but I was also like I miss the Netflix Daredevil show. And the last couple episodes of Born Again season 1 got me excited, but I know they were mainly there just to set up season 2
Yeah.
of Born Again. So now I'm excited for that.
I also love shows that just show off New York City or any city for that matter. Like I feel the MCU is all set in New York City, most of it. Really shit, you don't really get a good sense of the city except for maybe Spider-Man Homecoming. You don't
Yeah.
really get a sense of like this is. I mean, to be fair, it's not. A lot of it was done in Georgia.
Yeah, that's true. Like so
Yeah.
much of it is filmed in Atlanta.
Yeah. What I really liked about the original Daredevil show was just how much of it was like you saw the gritty New York City show we love in noir movies and shows.
Yeah. And I mean, it's going to be a huge focus on New York in this season too, because not only is Wilson Fisk mayor, but also he has outlawed vigilantes and is hunting them down. And now you have this first season ends on Daredevil leading like a resistance movement against him. And I'm excited mainly because Kristen Ritter has been confirmed to return as Jessica Jones, which was a huge announcement.
Yeah, Jessica Jones, great show.
Yeah, it's a great show, and I think Kristen Ritter is fantastic as the character, so I'm excited to see her back on screen. I'm excited at the possibility of more of the Netflix Defenders coming back, hopefully. Like, if she's coming back, I'm hoping maybe we get Luke Cage, maybe Iron Fist with better writing.
Iron Fist could have been good. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, I love Iron Fist as a character. Maybe like Colleen Wing, maybe Misty Knight. Let's bring back a lot of street level Marvel superheroes because like season 1 of Daredevil Born Again ended with him going, "We need an army." And then he walks into a bar with a bunch of random civilians and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
I don't want to be rude. But why make vigilantism illegal? Isn't it already illegal to be a vigilante?
I mean, I guess he's like hunting them down more, like enforcing it more aggressively.
Yeah.
But I'm excited just because the first season was inspired a lot by like the Charles Soule run on Daredevil. And now this feels like it's a combination of like inspired by the Soule and like Chip Zdarsky Daredevil runs, like
Yeah.
Devil's Reign, where like Daredevil and a bunch of other Marvel heroes take on the Kingpin.
It's funny because I have not seen this show, but I have read the comic it's based off of.
Oh, Devil's Reign?
Yeah, I bought that at when we were in college together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, the one with Mayor Fisk, and where he
Yeah.
fixes potholes, and we find out the people of New York don't like vigilantes after because Spider-Man will occasionally grab a car and throw it at the Rhino.
And I'm like, sometimes you do what you gotta do. You want to
Yeah.
save lives or not?
I guess I would rather lose a car than my life. Fuck insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. X-Men 97 is making season 3, and I'm like, they're already on season 3?
Yes, season 2 is supposed to come out summer 2026. There's no official release date yet. But yeah, at least the voice actors have been recording season 3 for a while now, so that's been in production as well. And it's so exciting. Like, I loved the first season of X-Men 97. Did you see it, Josh?
I did not, unfortunately.
Oh, you should. You should
I
watch it.
know. It's on my list. I
It's
just know
so
they killed
good.
Gambit and Magneto banged Rogue.
Yeah, spoilers for those who didn't watch almost 2 years ago.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of the Magneto Rogue relationship, but hopefully we can leave that behind. Obviously, this also has more behind the scenes drama with like the old showrunner Beau DeMayo being fired, and now there's a new showrunner, Matthew Chauncey. So Beau DeMayo had, as like the head writer and showrunner, had like the season 2 script written and everything, but they had to do a lot of rewrites and change some things up. But I saw the leaked like X-Men 97 season 2 trailer from New York Comic Con, and probably like so many people have already, and I'm so excited. I mean, like, you got the Grant Morrison new X-Men uniforms on Scott and
Yeah.
Jean.
That were originally planned for Earth's Mightiest Hero.
Yes, you've got Apocalypse featured heavily as like the central antagonist, which I love. Like, after a season without him, I'm like, all right, Daddy A is back in the house.
Horn Dog.
Yeah, I mean, only for Apocalypse and my
This is
fiance.
why we gotta vote for Kingpin to keep the mutants away from our streets.
Yeah, I bet you'd like that, wouldn't you?
I would.
Mutant phobe. But you see so many other cool things in the trailer. Like, I saw a glimpse of Colossus. I was like, hell yeah. Season 1 of X-Men 97 also left off on such a big cliffhanger of like a lot of them just scattered throughout time. Like the X-Men just like some of them being thrown in the past with like En Saba Nur, like a young Apocalypse, and then Cyclops and Jean being thrown into the far future where like their young son, like Cable, is still like a boy. And so it's like, oh, baby Nathan. And then, you don't even know where like Morph and Wolverine and Storm got sent to. So it's like,
Morph!
this one's for you, Morph. And there's so many cool like visuals too in the trailer. Like, you see Wolverine making the iconic pose from the Frank Miller Wolverine #1 cover where he's like, come here, with his claws popped and everything. So I cannot wait. I am waiting on a release date, and I will gobble this shit up and ask for more, please, which we will get, thank God.
One of my favorite franchises in all of comics are the Lanterns, and they're getting a TV show.
Yes, Green Lanterns. The Lanterns series is coming out this year too. Another big DCU project.
This one makes me nervous because not because I think it's bad, but because like what I remember from the Green Lantern movie way back then is it was bad, but also super expensive.
Yeah, it was a high budget, like, waste of time.
And like my thing with lanterns is that you just need so many lanterns, and HBO and Warner Brothers are not in a good financial state, and I'm afraid they're just gonna do what the HBO did to Rome and just cancel it after like the season because they go like it's too expensive, we give up.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they need more than one season for this series. Who can tell, like, what kind of show it's going to be, if it's just a mini series or if it's going to be an ongoing series. But this Lantern series also seems to be very grounded, at least at first, from what James Gunn says. Like, he's saying it's very true detective style, like almost police procedural from the Green Lantern's perspective. And as the series progresses, apparently it's supposed to get bigger and more fantastical and sci-fi, which I'm excited to see, and I'm glad they're doing that gradually. It makes things a little more grounded and human at first.
That actually is a trend in comic book movies that I actually kind of like, where you make things super grounded and you introduce some fantastic elements little by little. Like Baron
Hmm.
Zemo is like he's like a gritty character, and then towards the end he's wearing the full purple uniform and shooting
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, exactly.
And it just adds to the flair when he just does it like that.
And so it's like, all right, great. We're going to start off a little more grounded and maybe character focused too. It's really funny because you see people debating all the time who they want in the DCU as their Green Lantern. Is it going to be Hal Jordan? Is it going to be Jon Stewart? In this, it's like, no, both of them actually. It's
Yeah.
going to be Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart.
And we already got Guy.
Yes, and Guy Gardner's going to be in the series. We already got Nathan Fillion, who did a fantastic job as Guy Gardner in the Superman movie. So I'm excited to see all the Lanterns together and to see the Lantern Corps on screen as part of the new DC universe.
I also love the lore they released for Guy Gardner, where he's like, oh, he's the dirtbag lantern. The Guardians use him when they're like, we need someone expendable and stupid to be
Yeah,
violent.
to go on our like dirty jobs and like nastier missions.
He's the Black Ops for the
Yeah,
lanterns.
and I'm like, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you want to get some shit done, send Guy Gardner, no matter how messy it gets.
he's like he's the loan shark for the lanterns.
Yes, exactly. He's like, "Where's my money, honey? Kneecap you with my constructs. Use my Green Lantern ring
To
to
make a
create a
bat.
to make a bat so I can beat you till you give me what I want." Yeah.
To get those blue elf people what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
I also, you and I were talking about this, but I love police procedurals, like, and I love how like we're like a lot of shows are just making police procedurals set in an alternate universe. Like
Yeah,
Star Wars is doing one. If you liked Gotham, Gotham was a police procedural in Gotham City.
that's true.
Interest.
Yeah.
There's like a few that had like, what was that? It was not a good show, but it was famous. Do you remember? It was on Amazon. It was Cara Delevingne and Orlando Bloom. Carnival
Mm.
Row was
Oh, okay.
just like a police procedural set in a world with fairies. We're
All
just
right.
going that direction because people love police procedurals and detective stories.
It's fun. Who
Yeah,
doesn't love watching like CSI or NCIS, Criminal Minds,
yeah.
Law and Order?
Imagine Criminal Minds with lightsabers or lantern
Yeah,
rings.
yeah, or Green Lantern rings. Yeah,
Yeah,
giant green constructs.
you want to do a CSI about a cartel? What if that cartel was run by Darth Maul?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's Star Wars, but you guys get our point.
yeah, we get the idea.
Yeah. You and I are kind of excited for Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah, I am very excited. I'm shocked that it's happening.
Me too.
Also, like, okay, like, I didn't think this was actually going to be happening, but there is a live action Spider-Man Noir series set to premiere on, first of all, MGM Plus. Like, what the fuck? Who has MGM Plus? I didn't even know that was a thing.
It comes as a deal with some purchases. And also, what if you want to watch Wizards of Oz for free? I guess it's not for free if you pay for MGM Plus.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, man. If you can hook me up, I would love to.
I think you gotta buy like Paramount or like and it comes as a deal.
Oh, it says Prime Video too, so
Oh, I have Prime Video. I can watch. I really love Spider-Man Noir. I read the comics.
me too, yeah.
I think it's a great series. I didn't, like you said, I didn't think Sony was this wasn't gonna be a thing because Sony has just thrown so many dumb and weird ideas that they did do. I think Sinister Six is a genuinely fun idea.
Yeah.
They didn't do it. Craven the Hunter, I think it's an interesting idea. They unfortunately did it.
How about Aunt May as a movie? Do you think that's a good idea?
No, but for those who don't know, Sony actually considered for a while an Aunt May movie. It was leaked that they were like that they were doing it. And they said, "No, we're not doing it. It was just an idea thrown around once." And then it got leaked that like no, they actually had a few meetings discussing an Aunt May movie. And everyone's
Didn't you think that that was a good idea for a while?
why not?
There's no point. Like, what do you want to say about Aunt May in a movie that's just about her?
Hey, if Spider-Man's parents in the comics could be spies, why not Aunt May?
Then just do a movie about Spider-Man's parents. I don't know.
I will not. I am not going to watch a movie about Spider-Man's dad of all people.
You sound disgusted. What do you have against his dad?
It's just like, hey, what's your big contribution to comics? I sired Spider-Man from my balls. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's the contribution of his dad. He didn't even raise him, so because he died
You're like
or
deadbeat.
well, I think he died or disappeared, so
Yeah.
I won't blame him too much. But I'm like, I don't know, like though it also is confusing. I'm like, okay, so if Aunt May is a spy, why doesn't she help Spider-Man more? Or is this just gonna be
Yeah.
the origin for Lily Tomlin's Aunt May from the Spider-Verse movie, where she does seem to do a lot of the behind the scenes for Spider-Man? Is that just
All
gonna be the
right. I would
explanation?
watch that movie. Yeah. I
Yeah,
would watch a movie about Lily Tomlin's Aunt May. I
yeah,
think that would be cool.
and her code name was the Spider.
Silk Spectre.
The thing with Spider-Man, I feel people do get annoyed, especially it starts actually in Ultimate and to a lesser degree the animated series, and it goes on to these weird Sony projects. Is that like so much of Spider-Man's villains just revolve around Peter Parker?
Yeah. Or Spider-Man in general.
Yeah, it's just hard to do these projects without Spider-Man. It's just gonna be in the
Yeah.
back of your mind, like Morbius movie. I mean, Jared Leto's kind of a cult person, so like it kind of works. But also, that movie was bad.
Yeah. Madam Web. Horrible. Also.
Yeah,
Craven the Hunter, most people didn't even realize happened.
like
But
yeah,
yeah, Spider-Man Noir is very exciting. I'm excited that Nicolas Cage is going to be doing it, and it's live action.
and he's a comic fan. He looks like a superhero, but he is
Yeah.
also kind of old.
Yeah, it's really funny. I'm like, are they doing like an older Peter B. Parker from Spider-Man Noir?
I think that's an interesting take because they're doing that. They did that with Batfleck. He's an old Batman, and it worked.
And though, to be fair, in the teaser poster on the door, it does say B. Riley, so I guess he's going by Ben Riley in this show, which is a little different, but why not?
The original comic Spider-Man Noir is set in like the 30s, so maybe this will be
Yeah.
in the 50s, which is like the end of the noir era. Is like the 50s stuff.
That's true, yeah. So, older Spider-Man Noir, it should be exciting. I'm interested to see like how they explore this world in the series, like cuz I loved his performance as Spider-Man Noir in the Spider-Verse movies, so this should be really good.
If it's the same Spider-Man, it would make sense because he says like the noir Spider-Man from the movies is a World War II veteran, so the 30s
Yeah,
is over,
that's
the
true.
40s are over. My thing is, so if it's live action and I'd be upset if I was live what we are, and then suddenly I'm a cartoon. I'd be upset.
Yeah. Like, what the hell? I'm a cartoon all of a sudden? What happened?
Yeah, but there's also a thing where it's like, I want to take this Rubik's Cube home because it has color. I'm like, I live in live action now. I see color every day.
Imagine if you were animated and black and white.
Yeah, that's my Nick Cage impression, by the way.
No, that was very good.
Thank you.
But yeah, the last thing I wanted to talk about was Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2 will also be coming out this year.
Wasn't it like season 1 in the MCU for a bit, and they said, no, it's not the MCU.
Yeah, it's weird because like it feels like there are aspects of it that are straight out of the MCU, but they were also like, nah, it's not set in the MCU, it's non-canon. They even have like Charlie Cox voicing like Daredevil 2 in the first season as well. Doctor Strange shows up too, and like you see like on screen in the first season like the civil war between Iron Man and Captain America is happening. But it's a very different route for Peter Parker where his mentor is Norman Osborn instead of Tony Stark, and he's the one who like funds him and the one who backs him, which I honestly find more interesting than the Iron Man one because I'm like, ooh, man, when is Norman going to go on his villain arc? When is that path going to be headed down?
I actually like that idea. You could do the thing they did in the Flash show, where I didn't see it unfortunately, but the Flash show I did see that where Reverse Flash is Flash's mentor secretly.
Yeah, exactly.
The big news I know about this was like the actor was he like kind of racist or something?
Well, yeah, he got into a controversy because he was interviewed about the show and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's great. I thought it was going to be really annoying and woke." And I was like, "Oh my God, so tone deaf."
You know, Captain America is the most woke movie by some people's logic.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, "Oh my God, the ignorance on this one."
Yeah, I remember like someone said like, "Wait, did you watch The Gifted, the X-Men show
No,
without
I
the
never
X-Men?"
watched it.
It
Nah.
was good. They canceled it, but the main actress for that show said, "Hey, a lot of people ask like, why is it woke? Like, why are you making this mutant immigrant allegory by putting all the mutants in camps?" She was like, "That's in the comics, and maybe you're on the wrong side, history pal."
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to the second season of this show. I don't know if you saw the first season,
it's
Josh,
on my
but
list, man. It's on my list. Stop shaming. I've been busy. I've been serving my country, not in the
uh,
military.
yeah, of
So
course
just
not.
to clarify.
Yeah. It's a really good show. I was honestly pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed it. I thought it was going to be like just a forgettable cash grab, like trying to synergize with the MCU. But it was fun. I really loved like Peter's arc in it. I loved all the references to like the Spider-Man lore where he's like wearing the Future Foundation suit for a while and his relationship with Norman and like his friends on the show that they bring in and his relationship with them. And also a Tombstone too. Lonnie Lincoln is in the show and he's like a
Yeah.
co-protagonist on the series. So I love what they did with him and his character.
So it's a better version of Avengers Assemble, which is also its own thing, but has MCU events just happening too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I love Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. So it's done with a lot of love. It feels very Spider-Man. It feels very like classic high school Spider-Man.
Yeah. But I do feel though, maybe people are done and tired of seeing high school stuff for Spider-Man.
I would love to see more like adult or like even college age Spider-Man media in the future.
Yeah.
I love the 90s Spider-Man cartoon for that reason, where we get like a more grown-up Peter Parker. I love seeing even like schlubby over the hill Peter B. Parker in Into the Spider-Verse, and then how
I,
he like matures and grows into Across the Spider-Verse, where like he gets back together with MJ and they have a baby. But
I also
mhm.
love Peter B. Parker. I loved New Girl. I love the actor. I rewatched it over and over during my breakup, my first breakup, and I was like,
Yeah.
"That's me, man. That's me." Crying in the shower while eating a pizza. That's me. Gained
Yeah.
15 pounds. Me.
Yeah, you literally like sent it to me when you were telling me about your breakup and you're like, this is me right now. I was like, great. I'm glad to know you're doing all right. Enjoy that nature documentary about seahorses.
That made me laugh way too hard.
I'm just glad you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed that joke and getting flashbacks. But it's in the past, so I'm laughing at it now.
I think that about covers it for what we were going to talk about in terms of like upcoming superhero and comic book projects that we're following, like movies and TV, and what we're looking forward to this year. This is going to be our format going forward. I think next time we're probably going to focus on like current comics, just general. I feel like every week now we're going to do like weekly updates on like comics we read that are currently coming out, as long as like updates and like news about movies and TV. I feel like this time, like next episode, I'll probably have some thoughts on the Wonder Man series as well.
Oh
You might
yeah,
too, Josh, if you see it.
I'm definitely watching it.
All right, we're gonna watch it and we're gonna talk about it, and we'll also just talk about like current things in comics and comic
Yeah,
news and comics that we read.
you know all about that because you were a comic reporter for a bit.
Yes, yeah, I guess you could say that. A
Yeah,
comic book journalist. But in the meantime, until next time, Josh, where can our listeners email us if they want to get in touch with us about the comics we read, comics in general, or pretty much anything else?
contact us at ultimatecomicspodcast@gmail.com. Comics plural, podcast singular.
That's right. You can also reach out to us on social media. Follow us at Ultimate Comics Podcast. We have Instagram, TikTok, and a YouTube channel. And our YouTube has full episodes with video in case you want to see our beautiful faces while you listen to our episodes.
Nabeel's beautiful face and my not so beautiful face.
I think you're beautiful, Josh,
Aw, thank
inside and
you.
out.
I'm not gonna call you beautiful because I just did earlier, so I don't need to
Yeah,
do it
it's
twice.
okay. You're covered. You met your quota.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for listening, guys. I'm looking forward to this new format we're going with. So stay tuned. And until next time, take care and make mine Ultimate Comics. Bye.